Hello, hello, and welcome, welcome. We are talking all about how to be a great teacher. And I know what you're thinking. We have two options here. Either you're thinking, duh, not the Wimpy teacher. That's like your whole thing. Didn't you see like the name of the channel, the blog, the Facebook? I know. Or you're thinking, I'm gonna hit this woman in the head really hard. Don't worry. We're not going either of those directions. I know what we do is teaching, and I know what we love to talk about is teaching. And I also know you are not in the mood for any more tips on how to be a great teacher. So instead, we're bringing to you some teacher praise, some teacher love, and we are ready to celebrate you as the amazing educator you are. So if you're ready for some teacher praise, keep watching. First things first, I want you to think about a word, one adjective that you really want to describe yourself as an educator. It might not be who you are right now, but it's who you really, really want to be. And I don't know about you, but I never once have said, I want to be high test scores. That's not an adjective. Therefore, we're not using that to describe ourselves. Maybe you want to make sure you are patient, you are kind, you are generous, you are creative, you are maybe data driven. We can be data driven, but we will not be high test scores. Maybe you want to be engaging. Maybe you want to be really cognizant. Think about a word that you want to describe yourself with as an educator. Even if it's not where you're at right now, where do you want to be? All right, when you have your word, write it down. If you still need time, pause me, I'll still be here. All right, our next step to defining what it takes to be a really good teacher, I want you to think about what is something you want to do every day, no fail, for your students. What is something that you always want to make sure happens in your classroom, whether it is academic, whether it is content related, or whether it is that social emotional piece? What is something you want to do for your students every single day? Maybe you want to work to build student relationships. You want to engage your students in new and exciting ways. You want to build a classroom community where your students feel safe and welcome. You want to challenge your learners. You want to celebrate your learners. So think of a phrase, something you want to do every single day. I personally am not going into my classroom every day saying, I want to teach fractions so good today. Would it be nice? Yes. Do we have bigger fish to fry in our classrooms? Also, yes. Think about what you want to do in your classroom every day. No fail. Write it down. Let me know when you're done. Our next step in defining that teacher success is one that's going to involve a little math. And for those of you who do not teach math, I am so sorry. I too do not like to do math outside of school hours. But we need to narrow down our hourly dream. Now, obviously, the amount of hours I'm going to work in a week are not going to be less than my contract time, because you better believe I'm going to show up and I'm going to do the work. But really think about how much time are you looking to spend outside of your contract hours. So for example, my contract starts at 7:30, but I am very comfortable getting to school at 7. I like to have that time. It's part of my morning wake up routine, being in my classroom, setting things up for the day. So I'm okay with counting 7 as my start time. So I have to be in the building from 7-ish until 3 p.m. So let me pause and do my math. I got it. It's 8 hours. I have to be in the building 8 hours a day, and I get a 45-minute planning period in there about 4 days a week. So 8 hours a day, and then 5 days a week. Please hold for more math. So that's 40 hours a week. So beyond that, think about how much time you really want to be spending doing tasks for school. So in a really beautiful world, I would, in my mind, for me, and this works for me and my family, I would love to be 42 hours a week. So that gives me all of my work time when I'm in the building, and then it gives me 2 extra hours outside of school. So maybe that's 15 minutes on a Monday afternoon, or maybe I have a big project that I'm working on with my kids that needs some prep on a Thursday afternoon. So maybe I stay for till like 3:45 one day. Maybe on Sundays I get my life together. So even if the time seems really unattainable for you, I want you to think about if you could pick, if you could choose, if you could really decide, this is how much time I'm going to spend. And if we had that time clock and we could just turn it off, what would your cutoff be? Where would you like to be sitting for your weekly hours? Once you got it, add it to your list. Our last step in building this definition together is going to be thinking about what you want to do with that time outside of school. We decided how long we want to work in a perfect scenario. How are you going to use that time? Because I don't know about you, if I only do a 42-hour week, I'm going to have so much more time to work with. So where are you interested in spending that time? This is going to be the fun part of your list to make because there are so many things that we want to do. So sit down, write out that list. What do you want to do? I want to be able to spend more time with my mom. I want to be able to play board games with my husband on a weeknight. I want to be able to start taking tennis lessons again. I really want to read the book for my book club before we have the book club meeting. I really, really would love to be able to get on a laundry schedule, which means I would be just so much more consistent and I wouldn't be folding the Mount Olympus of laundry on Sunday nights. Whatever it is that you would love to do with that extra time, write it down and then pick one. Just one to start with. Will there be more? Yes. But pick one to start. How are you going to use that extra time? All right, we should have 4 different things set up to use to build this definition of success. You should have a word that you want to describe yourself with, the results that you want to see, or something you want to do for your students every single day. You have the amount of time that you really are interested in working in a week, and what you want to do with that extra time. So let's put all these pieces together, and I'm going to pop it up here so you can see as well as you're building your definition of success. I love that we have taken the end goal and turned it back to ourselves. Because y'all, this is our lives. This is our lives. And we all know those feelings in those weeks where it's like, all I've done is work this week. All I've done is work this week. So let's start defining ourselves by something beyond that never-ending at-school to-do list. So let's fill in the pieces. I would be happy to share my definition with you. My definition says, success for me is an engaging educator who differentiates for her students' needs while working 42 hours a week so she can spend more time with her family members. Is that your definition? No, because you want different things than me and you value different things with me, and that's okay. This is about your definition of a good teacher and resetting how we're thinking about our success as an educator. If you're feeling brave, let us know down in the comments if you did this activity, and if you really are feeling brave, let us know what your definition looks like. We would love to talk with you and start that conversation about defining educators' success. Because gone are the days of looking at amount of time in the building, high test scores, and number of committees that an educator is a part of. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I am sure that I am now sitting in the presence of academic rock stars because y'all, what we do is hard. What we do is hard every day. Even on the good days, it's still so hard, and you deserve to be celebrated. So thank you for everything that you do, and thank you for being here with us at Not So Wimpy Teacher. As always, pop down in the comments. We'd love to have a conversation. And last but not least, have a not so wimpy day. Bye!